conversations from the world of women's sports. This is WiSP Sports Radio.
This is episode 2 of Moovin and Groovin on WiSP Sports Radio.
WiSP Sports Radio is brought to you by Hyland's Earache Drops.
Have you been diagnosed with an earache by a physician? For natural relief due to earache pain, fever, irritability, and sleeplessness, try Hyland's homeopathic earache drops and tablets. Hyland's has been trusted for generations to provide safe, effective homeopathic medicines for all members of the family. There's no alcohol and no sting. You can get back to doing what you love. Go to hylands.com/ear-pain to find a retailer near you. That's hylands.com/ear-pain. Claims are based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence. Not FDA evaluated. Read and follow label directions.
Hello yogis, welcome to our lovely little yoga bubble. I hope you're feeling great today. I'm Claire Deacon and I believe that women in sport deserve equal coverage. I'm the founder of OLAS, Ocean Tribe, a small independent brand fighting hard in the war on plastic by making workout leggings from recycled plastic, all in an effort to keep plastic out of our oceans. I'm also here as your very own express yoga teacher. So each session, I'll be bringing you yoga basics, providing you with nuggets of yoga gold. I'll be bringing you simple poses to incorporate into your existing fitness program. And I'll be bringing you yoga poses for specific sport activities. I'll be bringing you no-nonsense yoga tips. So I'll be here to help you lengthen and stretch your muscles in a safe, effective way. So I won't be delving too much into philosophy or the spiritual aspect of yoga. To keep things very simple, I will only include the Sanskrit references in the show note photos. So if you are curious, you do have it there for reference. But as I say, I'll be keeping things very simple and easy to digest. And today I'll be highlighting some of the best yoga poses for runners. So if you're a runner, this one is for you. On a day-to-day basis, I usually spread the good vibe message of yoga to a broad audience, stretching out tired athletes, burnt-out workaholics, busy mummies, and often newcomers to yoga. Sometimes it's a combination of them all, actually. But if you're new to yoga, that's always fine. Often clients arrive to a class and ask if it's okay to join as they haven't done yoga before. And I always say, yeah, absolutely, because it's always good to have a fresh face to yoga and you have to start somewhere. But obviously, please don't turn up to an intermediate or advanced vinyasa class if you haven't done yoga before, because you might be a bit scared off. So try and find the right class for you. But yeah, as I say, everyone starts somewhere. You're not auditioning to be in the Yoga Olympics or to be a contortionist. I certainly wouldn't pass that test, but my flexibility is maintained by doing yoga. And I spoke about flexibility in the last episode, and I touched upon that there really is no fast track to becoming more flexible. It does take groundwork and time, but once you get there, you are in. It's long lasting with some continuance, and yoga makes you feel great too. So why not continue? Flexibility will help you with your general posture, your range of movement, and ultimately provide you with a higher quality of life. And I'm just referring to basic yoga poses like back bends and twists, or getting your palms to the floor. Yogis you see on Instagram bent in 3 with their legs and arms tied in knots. How do they do that? There is this misperception with yoga that to partake you must be super bendy and flexible, and really entirely this is not necessary. Yoga is a journey, an individual journey. It's about the progress you make each time you get on the mat. And the reality is sporty, active people can be very stiff or tight. think of all that contracting your muscles do whilst running. Those hamstrings, hip flexors, quads, glutes, and core need some TLC, which will also help in your general performance and help prevent injury. Sounds double good to me. So yoga is not just about flexibility and strengthening of muscles. As a runner, you'll be very aware that breathing is important. Well, breathing is kind of important for us all, really, isn't it? But even more so during running, it is vital to keep a steady breathing pace and control your breath. From a yoga perspective, I encourage you to practice equal breath. Simply match the intensity of your inhale and exhale. Also soften the transition between your inhale and exhale. Don't waste your energy pushing out your exhale. Keep the sound soft. Equal breathing also relieves stress, quiets the mind, and encourages deeper concentration. So just let your breath go further. In the yogic world, we believe that the longer the breath, the longer the life. So that's something to think about there. I recommend using yoga as part of your post-run stretching sequence. Intense stretching is best done after intense sports. And there is some element of truth in deep stretching temporarily weakening you due to looser muscles. So it's best to do your stretching after your run. And just a side note here, just a bit of advice. The best type of yoga class to attend for sore muscles after a run is a yin yoga class. This involves holding gentle poses for up to 10 minutes at a time, promoting joint mobility and preventing degeneration. So for you today, I've put together some bite-sized yoga poses which I feel is beneficial for worn-out muscles from running. In each pose, give the muscles time to adapt, go into the stretch slowly, take time to go deeper, and remember that yoga is a journey of progression, a very individual journey as well. It's not so good to hold an intense position for a short period of time. It's way better to hold poses for 2 to 3 minutes at 60 or 70% intensity. If it's a more difficult pose, more of an intense pose, and you feel like you're going to collapse or you feel like your legs are caving in, then 2 to 6 breaths is okay. Ease yourself into it and you'll make solid progress with your flexibility. And please take a look at the show note photographs in reference to the poses I talk about. There you can see me wearing some jazzy Olaf leggings too. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is reverse warrior, also known as the peaceful warrior. And to get into this pose, it's best to start off in warrior 2. And from there, bring the right hand down to rest on the right leg. And just make sure this hand is gently dusting the leg. You don't want to be relying on gripping onto the leg. We're keeping things nice and floaty and dainty. And from there, you want to inhale the left arm up towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are, and reach the fingers away from each other. And you can look straight ahead or up at the ceiling, depending on your back flexibility here. If you're looking up, then you're bending your back a bit more. So if you do want that back bend, look up. And ensure you keep that left arm nice and engaged. No floppy hands, please. I always say no floppy hands and no baggy elbows. And in this position, you want to keep the right knee bent and, the left knee. If we're talking about the photo, I have my left knee bent. We will, of course, do exactly the same on the other side. And you want to keep this left knee almost parallel to the mat. So you're sinking your hips a little here. And you're pressing into the feet with the legs strong. Remember, this is a warrior pose, so you're nice and strong. You want to relax the shoulders. Again, I said it a lot last time in the last episode. It's really good to relax the shoulders away from the ears in general day-to-day life and in any situation. Working on your posture is always a good thing. And to release out of your reverse warrior, inhale the arms parallel to the floor, coming back to warrior two. And you can kind of windmill the arms back and forward. You can go in and out of this pose as you wish. You may want to unite your body with your breath, really sinking the hips, opening up the side as you inhale the arm up. And this is a pose you want to hold for 2 to 3 minutes. Just try breathing and holding for 2 to 6 breaths. And we'll repeat this on the other side. And this is a really good pose for runners because it strengthens and stretches the legs, the groins, the hips, and the sides of the torso and waist. So it's even good for your core strength as a runner. It improves flexibility in the spine, inner thighs, ankles, and chest. So it's a really good all-round pose to do. And it's actually one of my favorites. It always makes me feel so empowered. I love reverse warrior. So that's a really good one to just open up the side of the body, stretch out the legs, sink the hips, really root yourself with your feet and feel like a strong, confident warrior. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one that I've got for you today, and that's the seated spinal twist. And please avoid this if you have any spinal issues or injuries. Won't be a good one for you. I think the clues in the name there, spinal twist, won't sound that appetizing if you have a bad spine. So to do this pose, start off by sitting on the floor with your legs straight out in front of you, your buttocks can be supported by a folded blanket if it makes your body a bit more upright and it makes your alignment a bit better. You want to start off by bending your knees and placing your feet on the floor, then sliding your left foot. Again, I'm referring to the photo, so I'm going to say the left foot here, but we will swap over when we do it the other side. So slide your left foot under your right leg to the outside of your right hip. You might feel like you're getting your legs in a bit of a tangle here, but don't worry, you'll figure it out. And when you next exhale, twist toward the inside of the right thigh. Press the right hand against the floor, just behind your right buttock. You can place a block there if it's a bit too much for you to reach down. I say block, it can be anything you like. It might be a pillow, it might be a stack of books, it might be block is a good option. You want to place your left upper arm on the outside of your right thigh near the knee. All sounds a bit complicated, but it makes a bit more sense if you're looking at the photos. Okay, so in this position, you want to pull your front torso and inner right thigh snugly together. So almost compact yourself here. And you want to be lengthening your tailbone into the floor and ensure the spine is upright. So you don't want to be hunching and twisting. It's not a good combination. And in this position, your shoulders are back and the collarbones are open. The collarbones are smiling. And you can be looking into the imaginary mirror behind you. If it's too much, then you can always just look down at your left foot that's tucked by your right hip. With each exhalation, twist a little more and find a little more space. And I'd like you to engage with a 3-dimensional breathing technique in this pose. So not just deep into the abdomen, but fill up your sides and expand your rib cage too. Really fill your whole body with your breath. And as I said, if you do need, please place a block behind you. And I've provided a photo example of how to use the block here for you as well. And you want to stay in this pose for about 30 seconds to 1 minute, and always release with an exhalation. So a good tip here, whenever you're coming out of a twist in yoga, always combine it with an exhale. And there you'll return to your start position. You can take your hands behind you and untangle your legs and then wrap them the other way. And start this pose all over again on the other side. So creating space for the vertebrae on the other side of the spine. And the seated spinal twist really helps to tone and strengthen the abdominals and obliques. It stretches and energizes the spine. It opens the shoulders, the neck, and the hips. It increases flexibility, especially in the hips and spine. So this is a really good pose for runners for the hips. And it's believed to improve digestion and cleanse the internal organs. So you can imagine when you're in this twist, you're kind of repositioning some of your organs, you're waking the body up a bit, and you're also massaging your internal organs as well. Okay, so next we'll move on to the pigeon pose. This is the king of hip openers. So avoid if you have any hip injuries, but I don't suppose you will as a runner, hopefully not. And also avoid if this might be a bit too much on your knee or your knees. So avoid if you've got any knee injuries. So to get into this position, the best way is to come onto all fours with your hands shoulder distance apart and bring your left knee forward and place it on the floor with your shin placed diagonally and your left heel underneath your right hip bone. Again, sounds complicated, but if you're looking at the photos, it might make more sense. Bring your attention to your back leg and place your right quad squarely face to the floor so that your leg is in a neutral position, because we want to try to avoid externally rotating the back leg. And you want to be lifting your right inner thigh up toward the ceiling or the sky. Ensure your hips are parallel and square towards the front of the mat. So you want everything aligned and equal here. And as you lower your right hip bone forward, draw your left outer hip back and in towards the midline of your body. Walking your hands back a bit will avoid your right hip to swing forward and out and away from you, as walking your hands back will put you in a bit more of an upright position. It's very important to have the hip bones parallel in pigeon, as it protects the sacrum and lower back. So you want, again, everything nice and aligned. You don't want anything on a skew here. So you might want to try doing it in the mirror first off, just to see where you're going right or wrong. And you're aiming for your shin, so your left shin, to be parallel to the front edge of the mat. So almost across the front of your body, in front of your body. And you can move your left foot and your shin towards the front of your mat and kind of position yourself, be a bit of trial and error. It's not a natural position to be in. And by this point, you will be really feeling it in your glutes. Oh boy. If your left hip is significantly off the mat, take the strain off by placing a rolled up mat or block underneath your buttock for support. And again, I've provided an image of this for your reference. And it's quite common to be tense in the right glute in this pose. So just let things go. Don't waste energy on using muscles that you can relax. Use your energy where you're supposed to be using it. And when you're done with this leg, repeat on the other side. And just to take note, pigeon pose is an extremely effective hip opener that addresses the outward rotation of the femur bone in the hip socket. It also lengthens the primary hip flexor, connecting the torso and the legs. So every time you lift your knee during running, your psoas contracts. So this pose, pigeon pose, is great to stretch out to after a long run. And as if you can't feel it, this pose really, truly, deeply stretches the glutes. If you would like some more juice in this pose, you can try walking your hands forward and lower your body down toward the mat. So taking your forehead down toward the mat, you can try to place your arms down to begin with, but try to get your forehead down, reaching your arms forward. And I provided an image of this for you. So just completely let things go. It's all about stretching out the hips in this pose. Okay, so that's it. I like to work with the number 3. So I've given you the magic 3 here, poses.
WiSP Sports Radio, the voice of women in sport.
If you'd like more conversations from the world of women's sport, visit wispsports.com and subscribe to WiSP Sports Radio on your podcast player. There will be images, links in the show notes accompanying this episode at wispsports.com. So just go to listen and click on Moovin and Groovin. If you have any questions, you can email info@wispsports.com. You can also post your comments and share on social media. Just look for OLAS Ocean Tribe and WiSP Sports. Thank you so much for listening and supporting women in sport everywhere. Hopefully you'll tune in next time. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you to our brand sponsors at WiSP Sports Radio. Please visit them at highlands.com/ear-pain.